Hello, Sagittarius. Let's get into your reading. This is me for Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus in Sagittarius. Please take it with a grain of salt. Reverse the rules if you need to. Only take what applies for you in your situation and let go of the rest. So I have been picking up this energy for a few days now. I'm getting something to do with your sacral energy, sacral chakra. So this part of you could have been very closed off. Okay, you may have even been celibate for some of you guys. But now I feel like there's this energy, surge of energy that's coming through you. There's also a need for you to perhaps be creative, or this has something to do with expressing your emotions, expressing your feelings. So let's just dive in and see what's going on here. What is taking place at this time. Again, do not force the message to fit if it's not for you. And let's see. Yeah, we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So yes, this is what you're like letting go of. This is what you're releasing and you're detoxifying from your body and your mind. We have worth waiting for, and this could be the one. So divine timing is at work in your love life, and you've already met the romantic partners you seek. Okay, beautiful. So let's see. So yeah, divine timing is at work in your love life. We have intimacy. So for some, you already met this person. Whether you were, I'm getting it's like there could be like around you, but it may not have been anything serious. But let's just see what's going on, okay? What's taking place? Let's see what's going on for Sagittarius. Okay, we have future plans. Making plans together, envisioning your future, taking steps towards goals. Okay. We have ascension, resolving the past, overcoming emotional blocks, and spiritual relationship. Yeah, so this kind of feels, I'm picking up like the Hierophant here with the key. So this could be a spiritual relationship, a spiritual connection, or this is what you are in search for, or this is what you've been waiting for is what I'm getting. There's something to do with you had to learn lots of major lessons. I'm getting like something to do with trauma, or there was a lot that you've been through, and I feel like you're releasing that old template. Okay, we have embracing the light. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we have hiding lies, covering up the truth, not telling the whole story, questioning what's real. What is this hiding lies? What is this hiding lies? The soul calling, life purpose. Okay. So you may have been questioning what's real. You may not have even known what was real with life purpose and the soul calling. Again, there's something here very spiritual, or you're going through a spiritual awakening, or whatever it is that you were. Okay, I'm getting aligned, like you're in alignment now. You could have been avoidant, or you may have attracted a lot of avoidant people in your life. Okay, I feel like you're moving towards more of your life purpose. Let's see. Tell me more, please. Yeah, yearning. Wanting more with someone, searching for love, needing to take action. Again, spiritual. So searching for love, but I'm getting specifically like searching for a spiritual relationship. Searching for somebody who really gets you. Perhaps even experience some of the same things that you've experienced. Okay, you're looking for someone who is open-minded. I'm getting real. Okay, but yeah, there's almost like this energy of you could be very spiritual. Like you have a really close relationship with God, with the Most High, the universe. You may even be looking for somebody like that, but it's more like, not that you really care if somebody believes or doesn't believe, but it's more like their energy. I feel like somebody who's in this energy, I feel like they will be a believer in some sense, whether they, I don't feel like this is somebody who's religious. It could be, again, like to each their own, but yeah, I'm getting like awakening, opening of the heart, spiritual activation. It's like you're looking for someone who's going to meet, like who's going to match you spiritually. And it's not something that, yeah, it's almost like it's something that happens naturally. Spiritual, God damn. All these spiritual cards are coming out. Awakening, spiritual journey. What's the T? Okay, we have unavailable. Excuse me. Struggles with intimacy, emotionally aloof, dating other people. So what's the T is that somebody could be unavailable, or you attracted a lot of people who were unavailable. You yourself could have been very unavailable. Let me see. What's the T unavailable? Restoring faith. Look at that. You see, praying, whether it's to God, whatever it is, okay? So it feels, yeah, I feel with this forgiving and learning, you may have experienced some kind of purge, like you've been purging. Let me see this forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. It's almost like perhaps in the past you weren't able to receive love fully. Yeah, you may have blocked. Like I'm getting your heart could have been blocked. You didn't know how to receive love properly. You didn't know what was love. Okay, let's see. Forgiving and learning, blocked. Yeah, the dance of love. Like you could have been, now this could have been with a specific person that you're healing and releasing from. Okay. But I feel like now in your energy, I'm seeing like you praying for someone, or you're searching for something lasting, a lasting commitment. I feel like this person too, with what's the T and struggles with intimacy, this could very much been you as well. And I feel with restoring faith, you may not have like, I'm getting it's like you didn't really believe in love, or you didn't really, you could have had really bad experiences, and not just your relationships, but perhaps, I don't know, maybe your parents' relationships. So you could have been surrounded by a lot of like unhealthy relationships. So you kind of felt like, where I don't really feel like it could actually go the mile. Like, do I really believe that you can have somebody for the rest of your life? You could have had those thoughts. You could have questioned that. And I feel like when you were in this dark point, there's just like a lot of spiritual, there's a lot of you perhaps praying, or you feeling lonely. I'm getting a lot of angels. You have a lot of angels surrounding you. Okay. And I feel like when you were perhaps in this energy of not knowing or feeling very lonely, you could have been feeling very lonely too, because you may have felt like there's nobody who gets me. I feel alone. Maybe my parents don't even get me, or whoever these people are, whether it's even romantic. You felt very different compared to most people. Okay, I feel like you're not meant to have a conventional kind of relationship. I'm picking up like, yeah, definitely you're giving me like rebel energy. Okay, you could even have Aquarius in your chart. But there's almost like an energy of you, like you marching to the beat of your own drum. But you may have been very lost, and you could have attracted a lot of unhealthy connections, because it was almost like it was stemming from that wound. And now I feel like you're in a place where it's like you could be connecting with God a lot more, or the universe, or whoever that is for you, okay? Your angels. And in this energy of kind of searching for love, or feeling connected to the Most High, or even just feeling connected to Mother Nature, you're starting to almost like your heart is being activated with love, and you're starting to feel this love. and you're starting to understand the presence of what it really means to love and to be loved, because you may have had this connection with the Most High. So this is something that wasn't, it's almost like you didn't actually experience this with people in your life. You experienced this with self, and you experienced this with, again, it could very much be God. I'm saying God, like for some, I know that not everybody, you know, believes in God or whatever, just, you know, take it how it read, but it's almost like you came back to self. There's like a higher like calling I'm getting. And as your heart started to awaken to perhaps your angels trying to guide you, communicate with you, there could even be like spirit animals. You saw a lot of like signs and synchronicities. You felt like there was a higher calling, like there's something bigger. Let me see. And I feel like, yeah, now you're restoring this. You may have struggled again. You were struggling with intimacy. You were struggling with letting people in. You were dating other people just to date other people. It was very like physical. It was like bodily urges. You know what I mean? It was 3D based, but you knew that it wasn't anything deep. And then I feel like as you started to I feel like you just started to see that there's still like a void, or there's an emptiness. Let me see your energy here. Tell me more, please. Didn't expect this message to be so deep. Yeah, up in the air, disconnected, uncertain status, fleeting feelings. So somebody here had fleeting feelings. You may have even still been disconnected, even though you could have been, it's like flesh. You know, you were dealing with somebody with flesh. Now, I'm not speaking to everybody, because I know that not everybody, you know, was in that energy or is in that energy, but it seems like very 3D flesh energy. And it could have been coming from a place of, let me see, up in the air. Again, unavailable. Tough lover. Let me see. Like you could have also been a tough lover. Yeah, healthy choices. Cleaning up your act, taking care of yourself, choosing better partners. Exactly. I feel like this is what you're changing. I feel like this is what it's like a whole spiritual awakening. Yeah. Oh my God. Judgment. I felt really guided to like split the deck in half. This is your judgment. This is judgment. You're being like, you're resurrecting. This is you going through a spiritual awakening, death card, justice. Damn. Okay. Like I literally just have the deck sitting right here, and I felt really guided to pull this card. So this is your judgment. This is your awakening. So whatever it is that you did in your past, it's almost like you understand yourself, you forgive yourself, you can see, you know, again, flesh, like something to do with the flesh, something to do with, I remember hearing, there was this, I don't know where, I think it was on Instagram or something, and it was like some kind of reel or whatever, and there was this guy that had said that, it was interesting how the way he said it, he was like, dealing with a lot of women made me feel empty. So he had said that in his reel. And I thought about it, I was like, dealing with those women made you feel empty, or you already felt empty, which is why you dealt with all those women, and you realized that all those women can actually fill that void because you were feeling empty. You understand? So it's like, it could have been the same sense where it's like, it could have been like, you may have felt, again, like unconscious, you weren't you didn't have your spiritual awakening yet, and you could have been very much in this 3D flesh. There was something different about your journey with spiritual journey. Okay, I don't feel like you lived your life the way like everybody else. You had a specific mission, you had a specific purpose in this life, and there's something to do with like the flesh, like I'm getting the body, but then you realizing that it's more than just the body, it's like spiritual, right? And I feel like this is kind of what you're going through. So it's kind of going back to that guy that made that comment, and he had said, dealing with all those women made me feel empty, when in my mind, I feel like it's the opposite. I felt he was already empty and he thought that he could fill a void with all those different women. And then after he experienced all those women, he realized that there's still something that is empty within. That's how I interpret it. I mean, I didn't really say anything because it's just a guy on the internet, but it's just interesting how when you feel this sense, it's like, again, I want to say it's something very spiritual. This is spiritual. This is spiritual. So you experience the flesh, you've experienced the body, right? And whatever it is, like no shame, you know, whatever. It's like now you're learning what it is or now you're searching for a spiritual. Now you're going through something spiritual. Now you understand. Now you have wisdom. And you want someone who also gets that. And you're also searching for someone who also has that spiritual, let's see, because I feel like you're cleaning up your act. So you could have been very unavailable, emotionally aloof. You didn't want to connect with anybody. Like maybe you weren't somebody who wanted to be in relationships, or even if you were in a relationship, you weren't there emotionally. Right? Like you could still be with one person, but not actually there. Like there's still something in you it's missing. And it has something to do with the spiritual aspect. It has something to do with the self. Like that's what I'm getting. Higher perspective with purify. Okay, let me see. Let me see more about this energy here. Yeah, dream come true, getting the love you want, fulfilling relationship, having fun with higher guidance. And I feel like this lantern, I'm picking up like the hermit. I'm picking up, you had to go within. You had to, let me see. Journaling. You see what I mean? Like you had to go within. You had to release, you had to keep track of your patterns. You had to explore your feelings. There was something here, perhaps, again, a block. You had a block, an emotional block, something to do with the past, even trauma. Like trauma could even be passed down. Like you may have an inherited trauma from like your parents that you probably don't even know about, and you're actually having to be the one, you're breaking the generational trauma. You know what I mean? Like you're breaking that trauma. Okay. Let's see. Let's get some of these. What's going on? What are you healing? What are you healing? Uranus. Again, breakthroughs, brainstorming, awakening, revolution. Revolution. Edge, diversity, lightning, insights. Like this is pretty massive, I feel like. This is, again, Uranus in astrology is a generational planet. So you are healing like your generation. It's like generational trauma with the Pluto here. What are you healing? The second house. Again, something to do with the material world. Values, possessions. What are you healing? I mean, it's different for everyone. We have Scorpio and we have quincunx. So intense, transformative, passionate, secretive. Scorpio is also connected with sex, with flesh. I'm getting flesh. Destructive, manipulative. What are you healing? Yeah, the 8th house. Exactly. Intimacy. You have the 8th house and the 2nd house. This is two opposite houses, Taurus and Scorpio. So this is literally like the flesh, the body. The 2nd house is Taurus. And then the 8th house is, I want to say, the spiritual part. I mean, I could be wrong, but the 8th house is deep. And the 12th house. This is really deep. Forgiveness, baggage, trance, the unseen, healing, spiritual development, Akashic records, subconscious mind, compassion, like the 12th house and the 8th house. What's the house that's connected with generational? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is what you're healing. Again, the 6th house. Diet. Purification. This is, yeah, you're purifying this energy. But it's like you had to be the one to move through it. You know what I mean? Like, again, Aquarius. Aquarius is just the energy of you, especially with Uranus. Like being a rebel. What are you healing? Yeah, 4th house down. You're healing a lot of houses. 4th house is your security, your family. You're healing the subconscious. I'm getting you're also healing the unconscious. Things that were hidden. I feel like with the 8th house, things that you weren't, it's like it inherited. It was inherited. Okay. Yeah, the mystery. The unknown, psychic abilities, inner knowing, tingling, ghosts, other worlds, space, shadow work, the occult, intuition. It's almost like you're coming to know thyself, or you're tapping into this energy of the mystery and Aries. Okay? You're becoming more, I'm getting self-assured. You're becoming more assertive. Yeah, we have two signs here that is connected with Mars. So again, Mars is like, yeah, Mars is like sex. It's drive. It's passion. It's, I want to say it's flesh. Conjunction, you're becoming more empowered. You're joining forces. What is this conjunction? Yeah, the moon. Your intuition, your instincts. Embodiment, the feminine energy. You're tapping more into your feminine energy. I feel like this is, yeah, it's activating. There's a part of you that's being activated. There we have Mars. Okay. Who are you connecting, or who is this person that you'll be meeting? Breakup. Who is this person? Let me see. Is there somebody here specifically? I'm not getting, I feel like this is more like your energy. Yeah, walking away. You know what I mean? Like you had to walk away. We have breakup, grieving your loss, feeling lonely, working well together, being in tune, building deep trust, with being done, relationship, ending, learning lessons. So this person, I feel like they helped you, or they made you release something. Again, like South Node energy. This could have been somebody who was playing a lot of games. I feel like you had attracted this person through your, again, that past energy. Let me see. I hope this is making sense to someone. Because, yeah, look at that. Change and courage. You're making changes. And you have a lot of courage doing it. Because wherever you're going, man or woman, again, it's very difficult. Because, yeah, decisions. You're even making a decision to change. Or whether it's like moving away from... Like you may not even want to be near your, you know, your immediate family or something. Something major is changing within you. It's like your timeline. It's like you're shifting timelines. Okay. Let me get a guidance for you. Let me get a guidance. see the light. Number 33. I love that. 33. So 33 is very significant. So see the light. Open your heart. Number 15. Beautiful. So yeah, see the light and open your heart. And let go and flow. Share your gifts. So it's like you're starting to see the light because you could have been in the dark. Look at that. As I open the book, it's right here. So the great illusion of the ego is that it sees itself as less than or better than others. This creates a false sense of separation and isolation, cutting you off from the divine flow of life. The spirit within knows we're all at the same source and honors self and others equally. The ancients called this false sense of ego separation, stink eye, the sad affliction of not seeing the shared beauty of spirit in all. Where in your life are you suffering from stink eye? Where do you feel less than or better than those around you? Where are you feeling inadequate or superior? Where do you feel jealous or indifferent? Where are you feeling angry or insecure? This false perception is robbing you of your right to inner peace, and it cuts you off from source. Everyone in your life reflects an aspect of you. If you're feeling inferior, you're not accepting your own strengths and gifts properly. If you're feeling superior, you're dishonoring the divinity in another. If you're feeling superior, you're depriving yourself of the gifts of another. To clear the stink eye, look for the common elements you share with those from whom you feel separate. See both the human and divine in yourself as well as others. We all have challenges and weaknesses as well as the divine light. Free yourself from stink eye by looking within the eye of the spirit instead of the filters of the ego. So again, see both the human and the divine. See both the flesh and the spirit. There's something to do with like the flesh. You may have only seen, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't even matter. You may have just seen like a person as just flesh, as something that you could, as nothing more. There's nothing more than just flesh, okay? Or maybe you felt like you were just seen as flesh, okay? So take it how it resonates, but you know, whatever it is, but now it's like you're starting to, as you connect more, you align with your divinity. It's like you can also see the divine in another person, and you're not just seeing them as the flesh, you're seeing them as the incarnation of spirit, if that makes sense. So this is, yeah, very interesting. That's what I was saying. And number 33 is the age of when Jesus died on the cross. Okay. Yeah, and open your heart. So again, I like this one because this one talks a lot about the ego in this book. So to love yourself and experience all the blessings your spirit offers, you must have an open heart. You can't fully experience love of any sort, that of self or otherwise, if it isn't open. As divine beings, we're all born with welcoming heart. The one that expects life is to be positive, is to be a positive experience. It's especially important right now to open yourself up because life is trying to deliver you the gifts of love. Your spirit and the divine source of all of life knows exactly what your core needs and is more than willing to supply that and so much more. But it can't succeed if you're not prepared to receive the blessings, if it wants to rain on you. The ego fears pain and disappointment and so slams the heart shut. Although it's trying to protect you, a closed heart is actually the source of your pain. So although it's trying to protect you, a closed heart is actually the source of your pain. So that's actually reminding me, okay, the ego, however convincing it tries to be, can never truly shield you because it's disconnected from source. Only a willing heart can receive your, so it's kind of bringing me back to the person that I heard on, Instagram, saying that I dealt with a lot of these women or dealing with all these women made me feel empty, when really it's like he just had a really close heart space, which he And it's not just women. It could be anything, guys. It could be drugs. It could be alcohol. It could be anything that you think that is going to heal you, that's going to heal the flesh, that's going to heal the ego, but it doesn't actually heal the spirit. So it's like you think that those things that fill the flesh is going, whether it's sex, whether it's, okay, any of that, you think that it's actually doing the healing, but it's actually doing the reverse. So it's very interesting. It was interesting that that he had said that, because he thinks it's the reason he's empty is because he dealt with a lot of women. Or yeah, dealing with a lot of women made him empty, which is the opposite, I find. I could be wrong, but that's my interpretation. Like, I find it's like you're empty, you're feeling something, so you're trying to fill something to fill that void, whether it's sex, alcohol, gambling, this, that. You're filling something when really you're like out of disconnect with the self. Okay, I did not expect this message to get this like this. Okay. Let's see. I can't have just like simple messages. Ambivalence. Ambivalence is the inner tug of war between different choices, leaving you torn when making decisions. When you feel ambivalence, it reminds you to face your inner needs. Finding balance will allow you to make the choice that aligns with your true self. And here we have wisdom. Wisdom is a profound understanding and insight, allowing you to see the essence of things. When wisdom enters your life, it reminds you to listen to your inner voice and find your own truth. So I feel like this is what you're becoming wiser, right? Yeah, there's something to do with wisdom. And I feel like people who, you know, they may judge your path, it's because they don't have wisdom. They're not wise. They haven't experienced it. They're not going through, or they haven't learned their lessons. You know what I mean? So anybody who really judges that part of you is, again, not on a path of enlightenment. I'm getting resonance. Yeah. Resonance is a deep connection with your thoughts, emotions, and experiences, aligning you with the universe's energy. When resonance appears, it reminds you of your connection with wisdom and your true self. Again, something to do with true self. True self and wisdom. Beautiful. Yeah, there you go. Breakthrough. Yeah, you're having a breakthrough. You're releasing, I'm getting, it's like you're releasing years of trauma. You probably don't even realize whose trauma you're actually healing. And trauma gets... that gets passed down. And so you're probably going through shit and it's probably not even your trauma. Can you imagine? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. And you're the one that's having to, you know, heal it and release it. Yeah, very interesting. Anything else? Let's see. Let's get some of these mantras for you. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. I am in alignment. You're exactly where you need to be. Yes. And I am wise. With I am powerful. And I am free. Absolutely. Look at that. You're going through major transformation. You're going through major changes with love. Like you're learning that I am love. I am an embodiment of love. I don't need someone to make me, I mean, you do want to feel loved by people, but it's also learning that you are love. You're made up of love. I am giving and I am ascending. So yeah, this is exactly what you're going through. You're having like breakthroughs. Again, judgment is like a major significant message in this reading. You're going through a spiritual awakening. You're ascending. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, Sagittarius. Let me know if that would resonate with you. Not the message that I was expecting, but I love messages like this. So God bless. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time.